Hi, and welcome to Game and Read.
You are here for History in the Making, as this is our very first Game and Read book haul.
Woo!
No games included, just books, and, enjoy it.
We decided to make a book haul video because over the last few days, since Thursday, we have acquired a lot of books.
So many books.
A lot of books. My parents were in town for my graduation, and my family is a family of readers, and my mom and I in particular are sort of book obsessed. Would that be accurate?
You both broke 100 last year, right?
I was close, but not quite. But we both are obsessed with reading, and we love reading, and we love books, and we love buying books, and we love libraries, but in particular, we love buying books. So while they were here, we visited a ton of bookstores, used bookstores, indie bookstores. We also went to BookCon Chicago, which was super exciting, and we got some book mail also, which was really great timing.
Books coming from every location.
Everywhere is a book. So today, Peter and I are each going to share 3 of our picks from the many books we've acquired and share a little bit about them and why we're excited for them.
So, the first book for my haul is How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe by Charles Yu. In it, the character, Charles Yu, is searching for his father, who is the inventor of time travel, and Charles himself is a time travel machine technician. And it seems to be very much in this vein of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, except more based around time travel and maybe some metaphysics within time travel. And I haven't really peeked into it at all, so I'm hoping it is witty and interesting and a nifty look in how time travel might work, as well as hopefully some nifty characters. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully we can find a cool pairing for it, because flipping through it looks very interesting. So, How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe by Charles Yu.
My first pick is an old book. It is Fool on the Hill by Matt Ruff. I read The Mirage by Matt Ruff a couple of years ago, but haven't read anything else. And my parents bought this for me because they were like, how have you not read anything else by Matt Ruff? Fool on the Hill is so good. So full disclosure, don't really know what it's about. I know Matt Ruff is an awesome author. I think this was published in 1987. So it is an old book, but it is one of his early ones. And it, like I said, parents gave it all their recommendation, and I'm excited to read it and read more Matt Ruff. Matt Ruff just came out with a book about called Lovecraft Country, which kind of melds H.P. Lovecraft with racism in the United States. And so my dad picked that one up. They picked this one up for me from Powell's Books here in Chicago, down in Hyde Park. If you are ever there, please go because it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I could maybe live there.
I read the back of this one. I thought it looked really interesting because he is a incoming junior professor or something like that.
There we go.
And then there's like imaginary things kind of going on, so it's kind of reality bending, and I thought that sounded like a very interesting book that I might pick up later on, or maybe we can find a pairing for it where reality is an illusion, maybe. So
that's my first pick. That's Fool on the Hill by Matt Ruff.
Now, my next pick is Hares vs. Squares by Ed Gruver.
You have to read those subtitles.
Oh, I do have to read the subtitles?
Yes.
Okay. The Mustache Gang, The Big Red Machine, and the Tumultuous Summer of '72. Now, as I've mentioned in a couple previous videos, I am a baseball fan. One thing I have not mentioned before, I love social histories. I was not a history major. I took 3 courses, all different social history aspects, and it really focuses on the people of that time and what was important to them. Obviously, we all remember political facts or historical things, but social history I like because it really focuses in on the people living at that time. And what better way than America's pastime in 1972? It was the year of the first major player strike in a North American sports league, so that's important. As well as the World Series that year was played by the Oakland Athletics and the Cincinnati Reds, and both were on opposite ends of this spectrum of the Oakland Athletics, who were a bit more raucous, very hairy, crazy dudes, whereas the Cincinnati Reds were very more buttoned-down, crew-cut kind of guys, and how that kind of collided into this almost cultural clash. So I thought it was a really interesting title. I got this at BookCon from the University of Nebraska Press. They were giving away a ton of free books, and I was like, this seems really interesting. Thank you so much, University of Nebraska Press, for giving me this book. I look forward to reading it.
My next pick is I Let You Go by Clare Mackintosh. And as you may see by this lovely logo right here, it is Book of the Month Club. So for graduation, my parents got me a 6-month subscription to Book of the Month Club. I was so excited, and this is the first one I picked. It was recommended or picked or judged or whatever by Liberty Hardy of Book Riot. And I Let You Go is the story of a woman whose son, I think, is killed in a hit and run, and the detectives who are trying to find the driver of the car with no clues. It was a hit and run. They don't really have anything to go on. And it looks like a wonderful book. I think Mackintosh has police or detective experience, and so I think it'll be really interesting to see how she approaches these. And it's also a beautiful hardcover, and I love hardcovers, and so that's really exciting as well. So I can't wait to pick this one up. It's my first Book of the Month Club pick, and it is I Let You Go by Clare Mackintosh.
Right. My final book for this video is Redskins, Insult and Brand by C. Richard King. This is another book I picked up from the booth of University of Nebraska Press. Once again, thank you very much, from BookCon. And what really drew me to this was I am very interested by the team naming and the American history of naming teams and using logos around Native American caricatures and images and things like that. And this looked like it was a very interesting look at the history of the protests against the Washington NFL team, as well as their history of why they have that name and their arguments for why they think it should be there. Clearly, the author is taking a bit of a stance in that he does not agree with this name at all. However, he seems to be approaching it very much from a history of the conflict between the protesters and the team, rather than just exclusively explaining why it's a bad thing, because that would be a very lengthy book with just one argument. So I'm very interested in this. I've started it a little bit. Mainly it's just been touching on some of the history of the team. So I'm going through with that.
And then my last pick for this book haul is The Future of the Kibbutz and a Divided Israel. Oh, I guess it's Chasing Utopia, The Future of the Kibbutz and a Divided Israel by David Leach. This I got at BookCon. It is an advanced reader copy, or ARC, so it doesn't come out until September of this year, September 2016. But I love anything related to potentially religious utopias. I saw the title and was like, ooh, that's something I want. So I picked it up. It is published by ECW Press, so thank you for this. It is a story, it's nonfiction, so it's a nonfiction work, and it is talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which has been in the news pretty
for
much
the past 50, 60 years.
Our entire lifetime and before that. And I actually took a anthropology course in college where we talked about the space and the creation of the nation of Israel. And so I've been really interested in that for a while. And so this book looks really great. It is the kibbutz movement, which is the utopian movement trying to form a Jewish utopia in Israel. And this author has published another book about the dangers and thrills of high-risk sports, which sounds interesting. So I'm really looking forward to checking out what he has to say and how he approaches this. The back, it says, a fascinating nonpartisan exploration of an incendiary region. So if that doesn't pique your interest, I don't know. Maybe you just don't care, but that's okay. I do, and I'm excited for it. So that is Chasing Utopia, The Future of the Kibbutz and a Divided Israel by David Leach.
So that is all the books we have to show you today. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to check out all of our other videos and content, you can look at gameandread.com.
And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and now Litsy at Game and Read. We just joined Litsy, which is a social media platform for books and book lovers. So if you're on there, go find us and follow us and check it out. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.